What's going on, everybody? I am back. These are my smart glasses. We are here with the cold case of Buddy Edmunds. Oh, yeah, Buddy Edmunds. Let me see. Give y'all a close up of the picture. This is Buddy. This is the cold case of Buddy. What we are trying to do. Ooh. Okay. No second. Little technical difficulties. What we are trying to do is get this bitch off. This is his girlfriend they were married for all of 3 weeks when he died. She got convicted of his murder. We have to figure out if this bitch really did it or not. What's going on, sissy? So, the first instruction says, prove Candy did not kill Buddy. So, we have a witness statement. So y'all can see it. We have a witness statement. We have the police report. The police is his statement. We have the case file statement. This is what's in the case that created it and made it a closed case. We have the map. I don't know if y'all can really see it, but we have a map. We also have the autopsy report. The autopsy report. And we also have Candy's statement, her interrogation statement, as well as her witness statement. So let's just dive right into the cold case, guys. You guys can stick around, watch, it's whatever. We're here to just vibe. While we speaking on that, let me, get my ones and twos together. Can you open this for me, baby? Let me get my little ones and twos. My baby got her popcorn. Going. We finna just sit back and relax and figure out who the fuck took my good girl Candy through all this while she was just trying to get her paper like any other gold digger. You feel me? So, let's start off with the police's report. Let's start off there. And don't be talking about my BDBs. I see him in the back. Don't do me. My braids be coming down soon. Don't do me. So, the police report says the crime scene. At 9:07 p.m. on the night of April 3rd, 1989, Danny McGolden and I, Deputy Travis, arrived at the residence of Buddy and Candy Edmunds. After Mrs. Edmund placed a 911 call stating that she found her husband sprawled out dead on the floor. Mrs. Edmunds also stated it must have been a break-in because a sliding glass door was broken. When we arrived at the scene, we found that the victim was laying dead in the middle of the living room floor with a large gash to the back of the head. See photo evidence number 2. Let me see. Evidence photo number 2. Him spiraled out on the floor. Don't know if you guys can really see it because of the light. Let me see. This should be a little better. He was sprawled out on the floor. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. You just told me to do that. There's some scissors right next to you, baby. Then it says, upon inspecting of the broken glass, photo and evidence 1, it was found to be broken from the inside as opposed to the outside, which we concluded to be attempted to mislead investigators to thinking that it was a botched robbery. This is the photo number 1 of the glass broken seemingly on the inside. I need all my motherfucking investigators. Come on, bitch. From the inside. Here you go, baby. Okay. Then it says the evidence. The object used to kill the victim appears to be a heavy stack clock of as which was 8:03. This is the Elvis statue. Okay, here is the statue. They said they had blood and hair skin on the statue. You seen it? Okay. A telescope was pointing towards an upstairs window at 70 Picker Bush Road. A lighter was found next to the victim, and a cigar was found in the ashtray on the table beside the telescope. There was a distinct cigar smell in the house upon arrival. The only prints found in the house were that of the victim and his wife. The victim prints were found on the whiskey jug, the glasses, and the telescope, the lighter. The wife's bloody fingerprints were also found on the murder weapon and on the body. So they have a checklist right here, and the checklist says crime scene perimeters established, yes. Is it known evidence protected? Yes. Is the victim still on the scene? Yes. Has the scene been staged in effort to mislead you? They wrote yes. And they said, is the homicide made to look like a suicide? They wrote no. Is the suicide made to look like a homicide? They wrote no. There is things on the back. So the items of significance were the Elvis statue clock, the broken shattered glass from the glass door, the jug of Granny's Gert bootleg whiskey that's opened, a threatening letter from Granny Gert, 2 shot glasses, one containing whiskey, one empty, sterling silver lighter near the victim with the name of Hank Miller engraved on it, telescope pointing at the sliding glass door, and half-smoked cigar found in the ashtray. And they have like a little drawing out of how everything was placed when they got there. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but here we go. This is the whole little scene that they put in. You done with these? Yeah. Oh, here, can you tack them up on evidence for me? Here, we're gonna tack those up on evidence. The pictures we just showed you, we're gonna tack that all up on the evidence side. So while she do that, let me get myself together. Cause you know we're on the case here at That's me. That's me. You got that up there? Y'all take this time, get y'all stuff together, get y'all blunts, get y'all shit and all this other stuff while she put the evidence up here. Because the witness statement is going to be a doozy. I just feel it's going to be a doozy because it's already a lot. It's only 4 fucking suspects, so the witness statement might be a doozy. So let's get to this, the case file on which they used to make sure that the case was closed. So it says a summary of events on Monday, April 3rd, 1989, at approximately 8:03, Buddy Edmunds was killed in his residence via a blow to the head with a blunt object. His wife, Candy Lee Edmunds, claimed to be discovered his body on the living room floor at approximately 9 o'clock that evening when she arrived home. There was a jug of whiskey and 2 glasses at the scene. A threatening letter from Granny Gert to the deceased was found at the scene. There were 5 suspects in this case. There were 5 suspects. Here are the prime suspects. Candy Lee Edmunds' wife had a rocky relationship with him, lied about her alibi. Her bloody fingerprints were found on the murder weapon and the body. Gertrude Burley, cheated out of money by the victim, who also sold her junk car. Threatening note from her found at the crime scene along with a bottle of bootleg whiskey. Michael Joseph Armstrong, a neighbor pulled a gun on the victim, several heated disputes with the victim, and the victim's dog recently mauled his dog. The next suspect is Daryl Wheeler, a handyman trying to set up employment with the victim, seen at the victim's home around the time of the murder, grandson of Gertrude Burley. Hank Miller, former business partner of the victim, left on bad terms. Victim was also having an affair with his wife. Victim had a restraining order against him.
Lighter, didn't it say Hank Miller?
Yeah, they said they found the lighter by his body and it was engraved Hank Miller on it. So the conclusions of the case, they wrote, the victim's wife, Candy Lee Edmunds, was found guilty of murdering her husband by a blow to the head. Candidly Evans was given a life sentence at the Pearlison Women's Prison in Pallister, Texas. Case is closed. They closed it because they found her to be the one, but it is said that she is not the freaking killer. So before we read the witness statement, let's go ahead and read the autopsy report. And this is the autopsy report. It says the autopsy is of Buddy Edmunds, male, 35, Caucasian, 210 pounds, height of 6'1". Victim was lying flat on his back in a pool of blood from extensive injury to the head. External injuries. Back of the head bashed in with extensive bleeding from wounds, slightly swollen nose with faded bruising. Internal injuries, extensive cranial and brain injuries, extensive intercerebral bleeding. Manner of death, died almost instantly from a serious blow to the head. Cause of death, blow to the head with a large heavy object. In conclusion, this victim appears to have expired almost immediately from a serious head injury, resulting from a forceful blow to the head, with a heavy object occurring between 7:45 and 8:15, likely at 8:03, as that's when the object he was hit with, a clock, broke and stopped working. And this was by the examiner at 4:89:18. You gotta turn that in.
Okay.
4:49:18. So that's that. So after all of that, they have a witness statement. So now, if you guys are still with me, baby, this witness statement, bitch, is a long. It's a long. So if we're gonna read this motherfucker, first what we gotta do is get us a drink of water and a hit of a blunt. So far, the granny did it. You think the granny? Oh, I wish I had another board. Oh yeah, grab the other board. Oh shit, the markers are upstairs. Fuck. I was about to tell you. Oh yeah, babe, go grab the other markers. We can wait. We ain't even gotta rush. Go grab the markers, and then I'm gonna put down and make a list of all the people you guys think is the killer, and let's just hit and see who could be the killer. The markers, the dry erase markers. It's that one right there.
Oh, okay.
Let me get this board. 1 second. I got the board. Just bring the marker if you can. Let's solve this motherfucking case. Y'all solve any other motherfucking case. Let's solve this one, ho. This is Matilda's daddy, because I guess Buddy he owns a used car sale shop and a used car lot. And he getting into it with everybody, supposedly. So that's why we named this Matilda's dad. Because somebody went and cleaned his ass up with the old ass cars. Let me put up our suspects. Here, you got the marker?
Yep.
Here, you got to write their name.
The suspect's name?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you who.
Don't make fun of my writing now.
That's fine. Turn this, I would say sideways. Yeah, whatever. So, here are our suspects. This is the first one is Granny Gert. Granny Gert is the first suspect. She looked like she did it. Look at her face. Look at fucking Granny face. She did this shit. She fucking did it. First, our first suspect is Granny Gert. Okay. Our second suspect is Michael Armstrong. Oh, shit, you can't hear me. Our second suspect is Michael Armstrong. You know, it had to be a black man who was looking for a motherfucking job, right? It had to be the motherfucking black man who was looking for a job. These hoes got me fucked up. It wasn't Michael. I'm rooting for Mike. It wasn't fucking Michael.
That's your uncle?
Yeah. Yeah. This Unc didn't do this shit. We related. He an Armstrong too. Unc didn't do this shit. They always trying to blame the fucking black people. Our third suspect is Daryl Wheeler. This is also Granny Gertz's grandson. If y'all listen to the summary things, Daryl Wheeler, the booger, is Granny Gertz's grandson. Daryl. You could just put Daryl. Daryl is Granny Gertz's grandson. And our final suspect is Hank Miller, the former business partner. Hank Miller. Hank probably did it. They left on bad terms. The business partner is always the motherfucker killing somebody. I just know it wasn't motherfucking Michael. I'll tell you that. I'm telling you right goddamn mom. Michael just showed up to get a motherfucking job. Black people are always at the wrong place at the wrong time when it comes to being around a bunch of white motherfuckers. Now, y'all tell me so far who all y'all feel did it. Isha said that she feels like Granny Gert did it. So you can put one by Granny Gert. Nobody else has commented how they feel who did it, but Granny Gert did it.
Well, I think Hank did it.
You think Hank did it?
I think Hank did it.
Well, we finna see. Okay, let's go to. Y'all got y'all shit together. Y'all got all your shit. Let me.
Who you think did it, babe?
Who, me? Oh, who you think did it?
Hank.
You think Hank did it? I think Granny Gert did it. I know for a fact Michael did it. I was there, bitch. I'm Michael's alibi. He didn't do it. Let me read this long ass witness statement. I might sum some of this shit up, so just take my word for it when I say it. Okay, it started off by saying this witness statement is from Nadine Miller. Nadine Miller. They say her address, her name, her phone number, and all that other good shit. And it says, I'll go right ahead and admit it. Buddy and I were having ourselves an affair. But you gotta understand, it was meant to be, and we never knew it. So what else can two people do in a passionate situation like that? I told y'all, Buddy was fucking Hank's wife. He was having an affair with Hank's wife. Not Hank having an affair with Buddy's wife. It was Hank having an affair. Buddy having an affair with Hank's wife.
Oh, I thought Hank was having an affair with.
No, Candy wasn't on that. Candy lied about her own shit. But this bitch, this is Nadine Miller. This is Hank's wife, ex-wife or wife. This is her. This is the home wrecking ass bitch right here. Miss Miller. I'm gonna put her on over here too. No, she don't really mean shit. Bitch don't mean shit. This is the only time she really come up. Okay, and it says, you see, I was married. Well, technically still am married to Buddy's former business partner, Hank. I did everything a woman could do to be a good wife, but it didn't matter none to Hank, and Buddy saw it to it. That's why about 3 months ago, he said to me, Nadine, you need yourself a real man, and you ain't got one in Hank. Let Big Daddy take care of you, sugar plum. And so that very next day, Buddy set me up in a real swinky place up above Ray Ray's meat market. We've been in item ever since. Told you this whole Big Daddy. I told y'all that's Matilda Daddy. That nigga was making sure that bitch was straight. Set her up real nice. Then it said, I don't know how I'm gonna make it without my Big Daddy. You see, he told me he was fixing to leave that too big tramp candy any day now. Once our divorces went through, we was gonna make a right honest woman out of me. I should be inheriting that car lot and have all that house of his, not her. He didn't love her. And quite frankly, what man in his right mind could? I have no doubt that pathetic excuse of a woman is probably the one who killed my buddy. They were always fighting, and Buddy told me she was she was amber than a bag of rocks, the most unclothed creature he'd ever met, and that she was more than likely raised in a barn. It's a small town, so word got around, and I heard all about who the other suspects behind Candy were. I knew each and every one of them, too. And of course, I'm not the one to gossip, but let me tell you a little bit about them. I'll do anything to help nail down whoever murdered my big daddy. First off, there's Hank. See, he and Buddy were business partners, but Hank was skimming off a lot of money at the top. Not only was Buddy hurt and angered by all of this, but since Buddy is such an upstanding man, he wasn't about to keep a partner on who was also out of an. Besides, nobody takes Big Daddy for a ride. He also has been abusing me some, and Hank, I mean. And once Buddy found out, he told me I should sue a divorce court, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Hank's out of his mind and jealousy over what Buddy and I have. But he didn't treat me like the respectable lady I am. And this whole situation is his fault, not mine. Anyway, between his being a crooked thief, an abusive husband, and a jealous stalker, he thinks I don't know that he sits out in his truck at night after night spying up in my apartment, but I do. I swear I would have been surprised if it went right ahead and added murder to the list of despicable qualities. This bitch is lying. She making sure Hank go down to this shit. Let's see what she say about anybody else. Because this hoe is
I think Hank did it though.
You think Hank did it?
Mm-hmm.
You think Hank? Hank probably too fucked up to be trying to kill somebody. Hank probably on some simp shit. He probably ain't think the bitch would have left him. So he goes, and then there's Granny Gert. Oh boy, the look in that woman's eyes when she was mad, she could have set fire to a field. Everyone around these parts knows better than to mess with her. Don't know why she was so mad at Buddy though. He tried to take care of her real good by buying a bunch of land off of her that wasn't even worth a dime. Paid her a pretty penny for it though. Trying to help her out and expand the dealership and all at the same time. Was that my big daddy? A real philanthropist, or was it a world of philander? I tend to get all those big fancy words all mixed up anyhow. He gave her a huge steal on an as-is 1978 Plymouth Fury. But all it did was put her into a fury when it didn't make it around the corner to her house. Anyway, with that being crazy, apparently that old bat didn't know what as-is means, no matter if she was out of for blood. She may be tiny, but no doubt she could mess you up real bad if she wanted to. Okay. Granny Gert did that shit with her bitch ass. You know them old people got some up their sleeves to motherfuckers. And then this hoe said, oh, and then there's Daryl Wheeler. Everyone calls him Booger. He's Granny Gert's good for nothing loser of a grandson. Most people think that Booger doesn't know he's a rare in form of his elbow, but I think he's a shifty one. He calls himself a handyman, and Buddy was looking to get some work done in his basement. Buddy wanted to set up a real nice man cave with this Elvis thing. Most people didn't even know that Buddy applied to be an Elvis impersonator. He would have been real good at it too if he hadn't gotten himself murdered. Anyway, he had an appointment with Booger last night, so he could have gave him an estimate. I didn't know a right feel about it, but Buddy just laughed it off. Hank had recommended Booger to Buddy a while back, and I couldn't quite figure out why, because he really messed up the plumbing in our bathroom. Couldn't flush anything larger than a pork chop without having a flood. And we can't forget Michael Armstrong. I mean, who could with all the rippling muscles of his? But aside from being a nice serving dish full of eye candy, that guy's a first-class a-hole. He had it out for Buddy forever. My buddy's a hard-working guy and doesn't have the time for menial work like mowing the grass. But Michael was always riding him about the state of his yard. Maybe Candy should have been out there taking care of it instead of sitting around all day doing her nails. A woman needs to take care of the things on the home front, and obviously she didn't. Michael was also ticked off because his stupid little dog, Mo, I don't know how the fuck the hell wrote it. Oh, dog, Mr. Tinkles, my bad. Mr. Tinkles, who names a dog that anyway, got a little roughed up by Buddy's dog, Bruno. No real harm done, but what's the big deal was all about? Maybe he needed to keep that little better track of that little pathetic excuse of a hairball instead of blaming Buddy for that as well. I don't have a good feeling about Michael either because he really hated the ground Buddy walked on. That's pretty much it. And the grief of welling up inside my heart that I just can't take it straight. Please find out who killed Big Daddy and make sure they get their chair. Y'all hear this, hoe? Y'all please tell me who y'all think now did this shit. I still don't think Michael did it. Just because Michael was the neighbor. I thought Michael was the one coming to look for the job, but it was actually fucking booger. This nigga right here. This, I don't know if y'all can see it when he crossed over. This nigga right here. He was the motherfucking one that that was supposed to fix some shit in the basement. So he was already there. He came over there. He might have did some shit. He might have been the one to motherfucking here. But that was last night. So let's take it back.
Sounds like Michael was the neighbor.
Yeah, Michael's the neighbor. The black guy is the neighbor. Granny Gert is the motherfucker's mad that got a fucked up ass card from Matilda's daddy. The motherfucker didn't make it around the block. They talking about she should have knew what the fuck as is meant. Understood. We all know when a motherfucker from Matilda's workshop send us a motherfucking bull ass lemon car and they talking about it was as is. Bitch, you ready to burn every motherfucking thing down and everybody in it. No, the granny isn't calling him Big Daddy. It's the mistress. This bitch. This bitch is calling him Big Daddy. And she don't know how her life is gonna work out without Big Daddy. This is Hank's ex-wife. Hank is ex-wife. This is Hank. This is his former business partner. And this is the fucking neighbor, the black guy, which I don't think did it. That's just me. That's just me. So, let's read motherfucking Candy's interrogation sheet. This was her statement to the cop when they first picked her up. On the night of my husband got himself murdered, I've gone to my regular Monday evening class at the Darling Doll School of Beauty. It was just like any regular old evening until I got home and found Buddy dear to dead, then a pile of petrified dog poop right there on the floor. It was awful. Looks to me like someone broke it in by busting the glass on the inside of the door and then whacked him over the head with that dang Elvis clock of his. That's what that bitch said. That was supposed to be his wife. So, I would have thought the bitch did it too. Just off of how she came off. Yeah. So, Big Bills, so this nigga is the Big Daddy's is the equivalent of Big Bills. Big Daddy's Big Bills. Anytime a car dealership got big in the front of them, the motherfuckers is gonna give you a bad car. They dialed the motherfucking mileage back, bitch. They dialed the motherfucking mileage back, bitch. Okay, so which one should I read first? The witness statement. Wait. Oh no, this is the witness statement by Bambi. Okay, let's read the interrogation first with Kim.
I got a question.
Okay, what's your
Is there
question?
anything over there that proves that this lady, Candy, was at her?
No, it doesn't say anything
Class,
about
for
that.
real.
It doesn't say anything about this bitch being at her anything.
Like, there's no paper, nothing from the police, nothing.
Nah. This is something with Candy and Bambi, and I think this has to do with Bambi's witness statement.
Okay. So, not that. Okay.
So nah. So anybody else, y'all got any other questions? What y'all think? Who y'all think might have could have done it? Let me hit this blunt real quick. Cause I'm getting into my real Olivia Benson type of feel right now. And let me see that tray. And these deep down in my soul, I think this got something to do with Granny and her grandson. I think everybody else is just speculation. Don't get me wrong. I know Hank got something to do with the shit, but the granny make liquor. She's an old bitch who make liquor. You can't play with them. That's like the cartel. That's part of the cartel.
You think the granny put what's her name, Daryl, onto doing it?
If he didn't do it intentionally, if she didn't put him on intentionally, I think Granny got something to do with it. If she was the one that knew that this dumb bitch was doing something she ain't got no business.
Yeah. Let me see the blue and the pink.
The blue and the pink what?
Papers.
This one?
Yeah. We looked at that one already?
No, this is the map. The map ain't come up yet.
Oh.
And this is her statement when the police got there at 8:03. So our thing is, our objective that we have to prove right now with all these papers, it says, prove that Candy did not kill Buddy. So far, only thing that's really proven to me that killed Buddy was Granny. Is the one with the Granny and Hank got the real motive. The neighbor, which is the black man, he ain't finna kill you because your dog fucking ate up his dog or you ain't mowing your motherfucking lawn. Stop thinking that we that motherfucking aggressive. Black people ain't that motherfucking aggressive. Okay? He ain't do that shit. Mike ain't do that shit. You can't tell me he did.
Oh. Bambi is the one.
What it said, she said something about Bambi in her statement?
No, Bambi is the one who can confirm her whereabouts, date and time of incident.
Oh, so Bambi was the one that confirmed her alibi, right?
I was wondering something.
Okay, so that's why they put Bambi witness statement in there.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and read this bitch statement, her interrogation script. This is the beginning of her interrogation script, so I'm about to read this motherfucker to y'all. Give me 1 second, hold on, let me hit this out.
It's gotta be something.
You're ready. Deputy. Miss, please kindly state your full name for the record. Edmunds. Candy Lee Edmunds, but I'm going to write back to just plain old Candy Lee as soon as I can. Deputy. Candy, how long were you married to Buddy Edmunds? Candy. Too long. Deputy. Excuse me? Edmunds. Buddy was a scum-sucking swine who only married me for my family's fortune. Deputy. Wow. I'm sorry. How much was it? I just inherited a combination of roadside flea markets and plum reading establishments from my Aunt Eldrine, Luna Jean Bettisworth. Bought it for $164,400. Anyway, I have some big dreams for myself, and I finally had the means to get them. Deputy, what kind of dream? And I lived in a trailer out back in a truck stop and wanted it better for myself. I wanted my own nail salon, so I needed a cosmetized license. And I also wanted a sweet ride and souped up 69 Camaro. Doesn't seem like much to ask me, does it? Nope, can't say that it does. How did you meet Buddy? Met him at Big Daddy's. He had a Camaro of my dreams on sale for $399, and it wasn't a bargain. Stupidly, I gushed about my inheritance. He was all ears. I should have seen the dollar signs in his eyes. What happened to you? 5 days after I bought the car, he smooth talked his way into riding off in it to Vegas to get hitched. Then I looked into beauty school, and Buddy said that since I didn't have any business sense in my pretty little head, he'll handle my finances. Wait, so after only 5 days, you married him and let him handle all your money? I apparently a couple sandwiches short of a picnic at times. How did things go after that? Terribly. Buddy was more ornery than a bear on a toothache when he didn't get his way. And he didn't wait. And he wanted his way with my money real bad. He was also abusive, controlling, condescending, and downright mean. Forever yelling and cussing and telling me I was no good. Deputy, very sorry you had to endure all that, Candy. No one should have to put up with all that. You're right. They shouldn't. And also had my eye on a place downtown for my salon. But suddenly Buddy told me I couldn't do nails just fine out of my garage. Then he made me hand over my checkbook, debit card, and my PIN number. I got real upset and cried. And then when he slapped me and told me to make his dinner, then last week I found out he'd been cheating on me with that bimbo secretary of his, Nadine. You must have been angrier than a submerged alligator. Sure was. He put up some fancy apartment too. What really burned my biscuits was that he bought her even a cooler Camaro than mine. Found the receipt and thought he was trying to redeem himself or something. So I went by the dealership only to find out the two of them sitting there in the cool Camaro kissing each other. Just tell me one thing. Is that the day you decided that you was going to kill him? What? Look, I never said I wanted him dead. Candy, where were you last night at 7:45 and 8:15? At the beauty school. Got there just before 7 o'clock, like I do every Monday evening. Well, that's real curious, Candy, because you're no longer enrolled there. Okay, I lied. I found out that selfish pig bounced the check on my classes, and now I'm flat broke with no way to pay for them. I'll show you my bank statements so you can see for yourself exactly how that signbar blew away my family's fortune. Anyway, I was raging like a full-blown Texas tornado. I drove around a while to calm myself down. I think you brought that tornado home, unleashed it on Buddy, and you killed him. I hated him with a vengeance, but I didn't kill him. Why should I believe you? There's no way to confirm your whereabouts. Long pause. Okay, I didn't just drive around. I went out to a bar. How many different lies you gonna tell me? I saw I was at a bar and was my best friend Bambi. Just ask her. She'll vouch for me. We were long overdue for a girls' night, and that seems just to be right that time to have one. Your best friend will vouch for you, huh? This is a new one. And if that's true, why didn't you just say that in the first place? If you had nothing to hide, why lie? I didn't want to say I'd gone drinking because I got a DUI a while back and I was driving last night and had a few. I swear I just didn't want to lose my license. You want to try explaining then why we find your buddy fingerprints on both the murder weapon and your dead husband body? Long pause. Ms. Edmunds. Because I saw the broken glass on the door cut me real good when I touched it. Then I walked in and saw Buddy sprawled out on the middle of the living room in a puddle of blood. I didn't know if he was dead or alive. I turned him over to look. That's when I realized he was dead. That ridiculous Elvis clock was laying next to him. And so I immediately picked it up and saw the blood and skin on it. It was so gross. I thought I was just going to puke. I put it on the table while I ran over to the phone and called you all. Candy, don't be driving that Camaro of yours around town anytime soon. We'll be speaking again. Okay?
I believe him.
It's the voice change. What's going on with her? What's going on, Mama Keisha? So, you believe her? This is Candy's statement. This is what got Candy locked the fuck up when she was interrogated by the cops. Her alibi was Bambi, which was her friend. She claimed her and her friend went out. This is her and Bambi. And I think we got to look at the timestamp. The timestamp on this motherfucker says, what does it say? I kind of lost count on how to read the clock. Is this 8 something or 7 something? What does that say? I'm going to let her look first so I don't seem slow.
70.
7 something?
70 something, yeah.
Okay, it says she was with Bambi at 7 something. Here's the clock. I don't know if y'all can see. That's the clock. This is her with Bambi. They out drinking and shit. They out having a good time out in the town. Y'all tell me what the clock says. That's supposed to be her picture of evidence.
Let me see it again.
Oh, you want to see it again? Ooh. So again, this is us disproving. Oh, here's her bank statements. She got inherited here. Wait, okay. That nigga sent Nadine Miller $100 motherfucking dollars out of this bitch money. Are you fucking serious? You would have went nuts.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to see if this hoe pop up again. Okay, let me see. Okay. Nadine Miller got $100. They had a withdrawal of $340. Schaefer's Jewelry, they had took out $1,675. Brighter Days Construction took out $25,000. Harry Thorpe Europe Informium, whatever the fuck that is, took out $784. North Texas Gas and Electric was, I'm assuming their gas and bill was $65. Their Southwestern Bell, I don't know what the fuck that is, that was $25. Dragons on a Fire Chinese restaurant, that was $25. I'm assuming that was their Grubhub. Jackrabbit Outfitters, they spent $289. I'm assuming that's some clothes. And I think they have a picture of somebody from the. Okay, I don't know. And then they have Jethro's Food Market, they spent $31. At Salve Septic Systems, they spent $1,200. Carlos D'Angelo, there is a Carlos D'Angelo email. I know I saw that. Carlos D'Angelo. This is Carlos D'Angelo. They paid him $221. Carlos, it say he's a mechanic, but they paid that motherfucker $200 and some dollars. Gertrude Bailey. Is these deposits? What the fuck? Because the Gertrude Bailey is her. It say $3,500. Oh, so that's how much she paid for the car? $3,500. Okay, that's how much she paid for the car, $3,500. Ray Ray's apartment rentals was $500.
So he bought the other lady.
That's the bitch house.
Yeah.
The Graceland's memorabilia and gifts was $1,000. I guess that's his Elvis shit. Oh, he went to Elvis. Ray Ray's Meat Market, he spent credit of $230.
He got a credit of $230. That's her money that she worked there. She worked at Ray Ray's Meat Market.
Who, the wife?
Yeah. So she probably got paid to him.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the $230. And then the bank, B. Langer and Smith Inc., they spent $45,000. Chester's Barbecue, they spent $38. Bubba's Bargains, they spent $132. Lucy's Apparel Outfits, he spent about $800. Another big purchase was Adler Holdings. They spent $22,000. He was just doing his shit. He was just really just doing his big one. And her shit started being efficient funds on the 31st. It started being efficient funds on the 31st. He withdrew $1,800. He withdrew $1,600 from right here. He withdrew $600 right here. He was just flashing on the bitch dime, basically. Dime to time. He was flashing on the bitch dime to time. That's it. That's all. Took how much? What's going on, Regine? What you mean to? Bitch, he was taking plenty. Bitch, plenty. Because her remaining balance was what?
Beginning balance was $159,000.
Yeah, her beginning balance was $159,000 with $151, and she ended it with an ending balance of $3.11 and a total of credit balance in the negative of $711, and the total debts meant they spent $160,000.
In a matter of what? Couple months, right?
In a matter of a month. This is just the month. He spent all her money in a month. She got married She got married 5 days after meeting him, and he demolished that bitch bank account within a month. Within a motherfucking month. So yeah, I'd be ready to kill him. I killed him. I would have been the one to kill him. First, Matilda Daddy, you selling all these motherfucking badass cars, and you stole $160,000 from me. Yeah, I killed him. But let me go ahead and see what the fuck this bitch friend Bambi said. Bambi said, Candy and I have been attending beauty school classes together for the past month and became fast friends from the moment we practically partners in crime. I'll say, or maybe I shouldn't say, that is all its insistence, but y'all know what I mean, right? Anyways, not long ago we met. She started confiding to me about how badly Buddy had been treating her. Can I believe he was carrying on with that awful Nadine when he was married to such a sweetie? He was no dang on good. I told her she ought to leave him and move in with me until she found her a place of her own. But she said she was going to stand her ground and get back what Buddy took from her. On that night, Buddy got himself clocked over the head. I was running late to class because little Johnny, that's my 4-year-old, tried to flush his glowworm down the toilet and flooded it out the entire bathroom. Did I mention the toilet was full of turds? And then he decided it'd be great to jump up and down and swirl in the brown Chucky puddle around. Wonderful, right? So I had to clean it all up and him up. All because of the babysitter told me she sure wasn't doing it and couldn't really blame her. Here and there. Joys of single motherhood. Anyway, by the time I got to class, I saw Candy crying her eyes out in the car. I knew straight away it had to be something that nasty husband of hers did. I gave her my handkerchief and we proceeded to tell me how he bounced her check at the beauty school classes. The nerve of that dirtbag. After we spent some time talking about how rotten he was, Candy perked up a little bit and asked to ditch class for the night and headed over to a Good Times bar and grill and throw back a few beers. And with her, she heard they had ladies' night there on Mondays. Anyway, we had a great time. Even had a photo taken in front of that big old clock outside the bar as a reminder of it being time to realize we no longer needed any stinking men in our lives, and that makes us happy. I'm not sure what time it was, but I promised the deputy I'll give him the photo for just in case it's a file. As soon as it's developed, maybe I'll show Candy with me being Buddy was killed. So Bambi just confirmed this big shit. So I think she probably Candy probably could have still killed this nigga and went out.
It was only 7:09. He died at 8:09. Right?
You think he died at 8?
That's what they said.
Okay. They say you think he died at 8.
So then she could have been taking that photo and gone home and killed him still.
So still, does anybody have any other guesses on who it could be before we move on? Who does anybody think? I still think it could be Granny.
I still think
we finna read Granny's. We finna go in order of how they gave us the shit. So it could be anybody. So let's go and see. Let's read Granny's first.
This is gonna determine.
Hank. Where's she going? Oh, right here. This is Granny. Gertrude. Yep. Hold on, give me 1 second. What you trying to put up there? Okay, let's close this. This is Bambi. This is another good picture of Bambi. If nobody saw a good picture. This is Bambi. She's the student. Okay. So this is going in order too, and that's the last one. Okay. So this is Granny's statement. Ooh. This Granny's statement when the cops stopped her bitch ass. On the night that Buddy Edmunds met his maker, I was home the whole time and I've been busy working on my project out there in the barn for some neighbors, ladies of mine. It was just me, the bags of chicken, and my 7 cats until Mimi came just before 8 o'clock. And then we hashed over the town gossip for a while. You can even ask her. Name's Mimi Baldwin. We've known each other since we were kids. I can tell you one thing about the murder of Buddy Edmunds, though. That low-life rodent sure had it coming. So that's that. And then the neighbor said that she was over the place at the time of the murder. So we finna read. You want to read her statement first?
Yeah, I read her statement. Let me see that.
Okay, that was Gertrude. That's what she said about her when the police folks picked her up and came and talked to her and shit. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is the letter. This is the angry letter. So they gave us the angry letter too. Whose is this one? Oh, you want to read Mimi's statement first or read let's read the interrogation first.
Okay.
Let me wet my whistle, bitch. Cause it's the only way I can remember it, y'all, with the voices and all. So don't do me. Deputy. Ma'am, please state your full name for the record. Gertrude Ernestine Bird. But people around these parts call me Granny Gert. I was here once before in 61. Hasn't much changed. Is that so? I've only been here a few months. What brought you down here in 61? My husband pickup truck. What's so damn funny, young man? I'm very sorry, ma'am. I apologize. I mean, why were you here at the station? One day while Pops, that's what I always called my husband, was out fishing. I was out in the barn and I heard a ladder hit the house. Darn if I didn't see Ned from next door going up the ladder, figured he was going to break in. So I grabbed the wheelbarrow, ran right into it, rammed it full speed straight into the ladder. Are you serious? Am I smiling? I caught me a culprit right there in that wheelbarrow. I ended up breaking both of his legs, made some of the craziest story about getting the cat off the roof. Was there a cat on the roof? Yeah, but that's beside the point. Marmalade was on the roof, and then that man had the nerve to press charges. Well, show him and press charges right back. I'm almost afraid of what happened next. Pops threatened to give Ned a whooping if he didn't drop the charges. Made me drop them too. Said he wasn't neighbor. So in the end, I nursed Ned back to health and he married my daughter. So the following spring. So Ned's your son-in-law now? Yes, sir. They reared up a couple of boys too, Daryl and Quentin. Daryl's a spare loser, believes in all that weird stuff like space invaders and time travel. But my Quentin, a taxidermist. Got just about everything, every creature known to Texas represented in the living room. Latest one he gave me was a skunk that sprayed Daryl real good last year. That's great, Granny Gert. Now, how about you know about Buddy Edmunds? That half-witted lie and cheating the thief and many other good things Christian woman would never say out loud. I'm glad he's dead. And once they stick him in the ground, I'm fixing to go straight down to Hanson Cemetery and dance on his grave. Whoa. What did he get to get you that for a pass? Well, for one thing, he swindled his way into buying a big chunk of my land for me dirt cheap. Had the gall to tell me straight to my face that it wasn't worth a plump nickel. Oh, Pops would turn over in his grave if he knew. Afterwards, I found out it was worth a fortune. He also told the rust bucket plummet that broke down before I could even get it around the corner. You must have been right mad about that. I sure shouldn't was. I hear you make some mean homemade Albert illegal whiskey. Darn straight, you want some? No ma'am, I'm good. You gonna arrest me for it? Not at this time. I'm asking because there's a jug at the crime scene. Deputy, lots of people around this park drink my whiskey. That may be well true, but I'm thinking the reason we found that jug, it was over Buddy's, was you personally brought it over. Under the guise of forgiveness, but it was all set up, and then when you least expected it, you took it out your feisty anger on and then whacked him over the head. Admit it, Granny Gert. We read the letter. I never get involved in no killings. Not even those possums that keep getting in my house. Pops used to kill them though, and he'd make right nice stew out of them too. I put that letter on Buddy's front porch yesterday morning. Granny go, where were you between 7:45 and 8:15 last night? Had some business to attend to for neighbor ladies. What kind of business? None of your business. Well, you see, actually it is. I was making a case of whiskey for Mimi Baldwin and her sister. She came by just before 8 o'clock. They down that stuff like it's gas guzzlers on a road trip. Don't arrest them, though, for it. The Baldwin sisters, huh? I think you're lying, Granny Gert. Don't leave town. As if I could anyway. That piece of crap Buddy sold me. And that's it. So do we believe Granny? Do we believe Granny? Granny seemed like she'd tell the truth. Damn! Granny seemed like she's telling the truth.
Granny's telling the truth. I think it's Hank.
Who do y'all think is the killer now? What's going on in the report? Who do y'all really think is the motherfucking killer? Because Granny had me fucking... Granny seemed like she'd kill it, though. She said... She said, I don't get dealings with no killer. This is a white bitch. I had to use a black voice because it just seems like this bitch a little gangster. So I used this bitch and
I was the one who left the house.
Yeah, this the one that was over there drinking whiskey like it was motherfucking water, she said. That's Granny Gert. The witness, her says, my sister Eugene and I have lived just down the road from Gertrude almost all our lives. In fact, she and me and my sister all used to walk to school together when we were youngsters. She's a right upstanding lady in this community, always have been. She and Pops ever near bingo down at ran down the bingo at the Pastor's Judah Church. That was many, many years ago. Of course, Pastor Jude passed on about a dozen years ago. Nowadays, y'all being her president to find that the kind of preaching Pastor Jed gave us. And wouldn't you know it, shortly thereafter, they turned his church into a roller skating rink. Can you believe that? A roller fucking skating rink. Where was I? Oh, yeah, Gertrude. She had some dealings with that awful man, Buddy Edmunds, shortly after he went up to meet his maker. They conned her out of some of her unvaluable land. Oh, conned her right out of some valuable land. She says she's got several acres of her property lined up back against Buddy's, used her car lot, and he told her he wanted to expand his business. I told her not to let him, as that place was already a big enough eyesore. But he convinced her she was giving her a sweet deal. Sweet deal for him, not her. Then he sold her a broken down jalopy. Said it was a perfect condition. Said he fixed anything that went wrong with it. She said she couldn't trust him. When she pulled it off the lot, the first thing started sputtering like a buffalo where it had a case of asthma. And then before she could even get up the driveway, it shattered, smoked and died. Is that the order? And then when she let him know about it, he said that that's what happens when you buy your old car. Nothing I can do about it, though. She was outright fuming at him, still was. Last I knew of. lady like Gertrude would never have anything to do with a killing anyone. Besides, she's as tiny as one of those possums that are forever getting in her house. Plus, I arrived at the place around 8 to pick up some baked goods. Yeah, that's Gertrude makes a mean, most lovely baked goods. So there's no way she could have got away across town to Buddy's house. Plus, how would she have got there in that little piece of junk to the Plymouth? So that's where the map comes in. Where the map go? Where to put the map? The map. The map. Where is the map? Here's the map.
I don't think she did it.
Okay, here's the map of the place. Ooh, I gotta get it close up like this first. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, boom. Okay, where is Gert's barn and house is over here. This is Gert's property. Where is the house? Big Daddy's car lot. Where the fuck is Big Daddy's house though? The roller coaster rink, the beauty school, the trailer park where little bitch grew up, the sheriff department, Buddy's house, Michael's house. Oh, Buddy's house is all the way over here. And Granny house is over there. And Granny didn't got no motherfucking car. And this is the Granny's land, but Buddy bought from her. Oh, okay. It is coming to motherfucking together. Okay. So who is in the meantime, between time, in them motherfuckers? Okay, because this is going nigga near Nadine apartment. That's Ray Ray's meat market. So Michael house right there. Leonard house. Who the fuck is Leonard? There's a Leonard. Oh my God, there's a Leonard. And then there's Pearl's house. Okay, so let me see. Ain't no telling who the fuck could have did it over there between Granny and they ass.
Hank lives over here.
We don't need to read this motherfucking angry letter. It's basically just saying she mad as motherfucker and he can just drop dead for the shit he did to her.
And the girl, Candy, was 25 miles from here.
Who?
Candy was 25 miles from here.
They was out 25 miles. Oh yeah, so Candy was far. Her and Bambi was out far. Here goes some more. Let me put this over here. And I think this time means something because they gave us this little ass thing. This magnifier fire, and these is all the what's the names? Okay. Let me Keon see. Okay, so let's go to the next person. So far we just read Granny Gertz. Who do you think killed her now?
I still think it was Hank.
You think it was Hank?
I don't think it was Gert.
Okay, so I think it probably could be Daryl. I think it could be Daryl. So
trailer is pretty close to Buddy's house.
So take my muscle mark from Granny Gert and put it on Daryl. I think Daryl is gonna be the killer. Okay. Does anybody else have any what's the name inkling on who could be the killer? We have two news clippings too. I forgot these, but I'm gonna read these after we read all the what's the name because sometimes the answers you need to solve these cases be on here. It's crazy. Who next? Michael. Michael should say, Michael Armstrong is the black guy. The only black guy in this whole fucking situation. I still don't think he did it, but let's that's just
his house is actually the closest.
Yeah, he's the next door neighbor.
Yeah. But I mean that will give him a good, run over there, pow.
But I'm still gonna give my black guy the benefit of the doubt, okay?
No, I feel you.
Yeah. They always make them out to be the bad guys. I'm gonna give my guy the benefit of the doubt. Here's saying, like yesterday, I spent a considerable amount of time working on my yacht. Focusing on my extensive garden of award and winning rose bushes and shit. Right before I decided to call it quits, I noticed the Daryl Williams van pulling in next door at Buddy's. I'm not certain about the time because, quite frankly, I didn't know I needed to be pinpointing. So, maybe a give or take, not sure. Sorry about that. After I went out about my back porch to spend some quality time in my hammock and shit, woke up a little after 9 when I heard sirens over at Buddy's house and went to the front to see what was going on. There was an ambulance and a lot of motherfucking police over there. I heard Candy came home and found Buddy dead on the living room. His alibi, was the next door neighbor. Maybe Miss Vance knows she watched my every fucking move. I believe it. I motherfucking believe it. This motherfucking Miss Mans, look at this Karen ass bitch. She definitely was watching my man's every motherfucking move. Said, ask her, she watched my every fucking move. I know she did. I know she fucking did. Fucking Karen ass bitch. Let that man live. You hoes. Candy and that bitch was pining over that nigga and was watching that nigga every fucking move. They did. They did. My brother, they did.
I'm listening. I just listening. You got me thinking it's Daryl. No.
You think it's Daryl?
No, I'm not sure yet. I gotta listen.
I've been said that. I think it's Daryl.
He saw Daryl's car.
Okay. Okay, this bitch interrogation. Do you want me to read the interrogation or the bitch what's the name?
Or the what?
You want me to read the bitch witness statement or interrogation statement?
Witness statement.
Okay, let's see what this is.
What?
Nuh-uh. I lived next door to Michael since he moved in back in the summer of '85. I couldn't tell you how nice it is to have a big, strong, handsome Marine living next door. He keeps his yard so nice. Even comes over to help me with mine. Keeps it so much nicer than my ex-husband used to. Of course, his other next door neighbor, the dead man, kept his place looking like one big hot mess. A real tragedy eyesore. And he never picks up after his dog poop. On hot days, you can smell it clear all the way up here. It's enough to make it's up to make a demure lady like myself pass out. I sure as shouldn't hope his young widow finds some nice new man to marry and have a little more property proud. And I'd also like to have it on the record that a horrible man, Buddy Edmunds, was a peeping Tom. Anyway, late yesterday, I was watching Michael doing some yard work, and he just looked so hot, all covered in sweat like that I thought he might just knight me a gold glass of water or lemonade. Hand squeezed, of course. But once I finally got it all made and went to bring it out to him, he was gone. Knocked on the door, but there was no answer. He must have been walking Mr. Tinkles, as he never lets him pee in the yard because the urine ruins the grass. That poor little thing got roughed up real bad after Buddy's dog, Bruno, got a hold of him last week. So glad that sweet little pooch is doing better now. A short time after I got back to my place, I heard Bruno sounding like he was fixing to eat someone alive. I was really hoping he wasn't trying to tear Mr. Tinkles apart again. This may have been around the time y'all figured the murder took place, but I didn't take much notice as Buddy's dog was forever barking up a storm. I know Michael had nothing to do with Buddy's murder because Michael's just a real darling of a man. He wouldn't even have had to kill him if he wouldn't even have to kill a mosquito, an annoying mosquito. Never mind a big awful pest like a Buddy. So she was one of them hoes.
Yeah.
That bitch said he was a nice hunk of a man. I tried to bring him some lemonade, but he was gone. Bitch, gone. All you white hoes need to stop thinking all these black men want to fuck on y'all. They don't. Not all of them. Not all of them. Let's read the interrogation. Sir, please kindly state your full name for the record. Gunnery Sergeant Michael Joseph Armstrong. Unfortunately, that guy was a low as needed ladder. Wait. Unfortunately, hold on, that's not it. Okay, my bad. Let me start over. Okay. Sir, please kindly state your full name for the record. Gunnery Sergeant Michael Joseph Armstrong. Maria, fantastic. And you live next door to Buddy, is that right? Unfortunately, the guy was low and he needed a ladder just to scratch a snake's belly. So I take the two of you exactly didn't invite each other for barbecues. Nope. Describe your relationship with the deceased. What kind of neighbor was he? Got comfortable, deputy. This could take a while. Let it all out. I'm listening. Where to begin? He was cheesy, womanizing, polyester suit wearing jerk of a moron. Those were his positive qualities. Not only did he blast Elvis music all the time, but he strut across his own yard, shirted this with a big gut, swashing around for all the world to see. And he yard something straight out of a mini golf hell, complete with the pink flamingos and a garden gnomes and pinwheels. Then there's this broken down, rusted old RV without the wheels. Did I mention he never mows or picks up after his dog? Sounds like quite a neighbor. That's only half of it. I've always kept my property pristine, but Buddy started letting his ugly mutt Bruno take his morning whizzes on my edges. Now all dead. Didn't even flinch when I confronted him. Said we were blocking his view. Yeah, his view of Miss Van Gill's 2 doors over. And then my poor little Mr. Tinkles nearly died last week after Bruno got into my yard and worked him over. Sorry to hear that. But after you won't want to mess with Buddy up worse than that dog messed up yours. You got that right. Can you tell me anything about Buddy's relationship with his wife? Yeah, along with being an awful neighbor, he was a terrible and abusive husband. Not only did he Weasley Cindy's inheritance away from her, but he also was having an affair with his secretary. Had themselves a big old fight over there too. Mostly it was Buddy yelling, cussing her out, and throwing things while Candy cried. I marched over there a few times to occasions to straighten his ass out. Deputy, I hear was a time where marching right over there prompted one of the neighbors to call the police on you. I believe it was about a month ago on one of the weekends. That jerk put up an American flag one morning, embezzled with the words, "Get your next ride at Big Daddy's" on it. Look at the... Ain't nobody gonna mess with the flag on watch. You did the neighbor call the cops on you? I would think they must have had a good reason. I went over there with my rifle. It wasn't loaded, but I made them think it was. The police showed up. They sided with me and made them remove the words from the flag. And that incident happened before Bruno tried to attack down Mr. Tinkles, didn't it? Bet you was some over there putting up with this crap. You have no idea. And since Marines who are Texans don't put up with crap, you went right over there, but this time not with your rifle. You brought some Granny Gertie famous moonshine whiskey instead under the pretense of peace. Only your intentions, you were anything but peaceful. You whacked him over the head and left him for dead. Must have been the rifle to think that instead of living 6 feet under. He's now living 6 feet under. Hey, it's no secret. I couldn't stand the guy, and truthfully, I'm glad that he's not going to be my neighbor anymore. But I'd never kill someone outside of combat. Sounds like maybe there's a little neighbor combat taking place to me. You barking up the wrong tree, deputy. Try sniffing around Darryl Wheeler. I saw his van over at Buddy's a while, and I was pruning my bushes. And with him being Granny Gert's grandson, I would have got him ample access to that whiskey. Any idea what time? Maybe 8, not sure. I tend to lose track of time when I'm gardening, but shortly after I went out back into my porch and catch a few Z's in my hammock. You ever had any of this whiskey? Sure, it's great. Seems everyone in town knew about it. How did I never hear about it till now? That's easy. The sheriff keeps it under wraps. I hear he's one of the best customers. Is that so? By the way, just one more thing. Where'd you get that nasty wound on your head? Looks like a fresh bite mark. Yeah, it is. Got it when I grabbed Bruno off of Mr. Tinkles. That had happened a week ago. Looks more recent than that. But what do I know? Yeah, it hasn't healed properly yet. Had tore up my hand good. That dog's a menace. He may be a menace, but you know what? I bet he's loyal. All dogs are. I bet even Mr. Tinkles will risk life to a limb over you, huh, Mr. Armstrong? We'll be in touch. What you think? What y'all think now? Who's the killer? I told you Michael wasn't the fucking killer.
Daryl.
Michael looked like he don't play that shit. Stop always pinning that shit on my black people, man. Stop. My guy knew he wasn't the motherfucking killer. Stop playing with my man.
I think it was Daryl.
You think it was Daryl?
Well, let me hear Hank. And then we can.
Oh no, there's another incident. What's this incident report of? Police report about the rifle.
Oh, the end.
It say actions taken. Let me see what the Billy Joe and I conferred with the private for a moment. We both agreed that we said that Mr. Armstrong, sorry, Mr. Armstrong, we made Amos take down the flag and remove the letter. And meanwhile, a right friendly woman from down the street, Miss Van, brought us over some fine lemonade. No arrest was made, but we were giving Mr. Amos a good talking to. Mr. Armstrong gave us a free month of Devil Dog Gym. At the Devil Dog Gym, and Billy Joe got Mr. Van Gaal's phone number. Oh, so Billy works at the Michael works at the gym. Where's the gym? It's the gym on there too.
Senior Center. Burrow's house. Fedora's house.
So let's get to Daryl though. Y'all still with me? Who do y'all think killed her? Who do y'all think is the killer? We just read Granny Gert's testimony, witness statement, and interrogation. We read Michael's. We finna get into Daryl's. Who do y'all think could be the killer instead of Ken?
I don't see the gym on here.
The gym is called Devil Dogs or some shit like that. Devil Dogs Gym. I saw Devil Dog on there. Let me see. Oh, right here, Devil Dogs, right next to the meat market. Right next to the meat market.
Oh. Right across the street?
Yeah.
Or in the kitty corner kind of?
Yeah, okay, so this is Daryl Wheeler's statement when the police came to him. I went by Buddy's place a little before 7 p.m. Came by because he wanted me to stop by and give him an estimate on the man cave he wanted for himself down in the basement. No one came to the door after a long time of knocking and hollering, so I figured he must have forgot or something, and I couldn't wait around any longer because I had myself a date, and I had to get over to the Slater. Get over in Slater. Slater is, I guess, on the map too.
Yeah, I saw Slater.
And he doesn't have anyone backing up his alibi.
Slater, Gas and Grub, 60 miles away.
Yeah, so he had to get to someplace 60 miles away. What's this? I guess this is his receipt at the gas station.
What time does the receipt say?
8:07. So Daryl may not be the killer. You might
might be right the whole time,
Hey,
baby.
you might be right. Okay, so let's read Daryl's interrogation script. Good afternoon. Can you kindly state your full name for the record? Yes, sir. Daryl Riller, nickname Booger. Is it true that you're Gertrude Burley's grandson? Sure am. You know Granny Gert? Met her just today. She's quite a character. You two close kin? Real close. Of course, my brother Quentin's always been her favorite, but I lived next door to Granny Gert until I was 25. That's when my daddy kicked me out. Said no son of his is going to spend his life living in his parents' basement playing video games. So I became a handyman and got myself a trailer. That's great. Good for you. How's business going? Not that well. I might be moving in with Granny Gert and she'll have me. I see, Daryl. Can you tell me what dealings you have with Buddy Edmunds? He wanted an Elvis-inspired man cave in his basement. So weird. Anyway, he was fixing to hire someone to do the work for him. So I had an appointment with him at 7 o'clock for an estimate. Got there about 10 minutes early. How'd the appointment go? Well, I rang the bell, knocked, and even hollered a few times, but no one answered. I couldn't wait around because I got myself a blind date at the Slater at 8 o'clock. Well, you traveled all the way for a blind date. What's wrong with you, son? Have you taken a good look at most of the women in these parts, sir? You got me there. So you go to Buddy's, and what time is that again? Got there just a little bit before 7. That's interesting because one of his neighbors might have seen you there around 8. All I can say is they were mistaken. You got any proof of time that your appointment with Buddy Daryl? No, sir. Can't say I have. What about your blind date? Can she vouch for you? Not exactly. She didn't show up. Help me out there. You went to the victim's house the night he was murdered, and someone thinks they saw you there just about the time he was killed. Anything to say for yourself? All I can say is what I already said. Got there, left soon after, then I drove off to Slater where I got stood up. Suppose I met her in the parking was supposed to meet her in the parking lot up there, but she didn't show. Did Granny Gert let you in or on what she was going down between her and Buddy? Oh, yeah, sir. She was very outspoken on the subject. She wanted to turn him into a slop feed for the hogs. I see. And I bet you love your grandma with all your heart and would do anything in the world for her, am I right? Well, sure. Don't matter none of that. Quentin's her favorite. That old lady means the world to me, Deputy. You know what I think? Since he messed with your grandma, you decided to mess with him. So you went over there in a little backwood justice and got out of hand. Admit it, Dale. You killed Buddy. I didn't do anything of that kind, sir. I thought I made it pretty clear I wasn't even around when that guy got himself murdered. You have no alibi, son. And the exact time you were at Buddy's is questionable at best. Well, if it helps, I stopped for gas and Slater. Should have stopped sooner. I'd be running on fumes for a while, but I didn't want to be late. And this helps how? I got myself a receipt. Maybe it got the time on it. Let me check my wallet and see if I still have it. Yep, here it is. It's a big crumple. Slater Gas and Grub. Gas, cigarettes, and good eats for $10.97, April 3rd, 1989 at 8:07. Can I keep this? Well, seeing as how my date never showed, I kind of was planning to write it off as a business trip. Think my accountant would need it? Your accountant. Granny G. He laughed. You're not going to tell Uncle Sam what I was really doing, are you? I mean, if she hadn't stood me up, who knows? She might have hired me for some handiwork too, so it's sort of like a business trip. Not sure I can keep that promise, but I'll make a copy. Don't make any out of town blind dates this weekend, okay? No problem. Learn my lesson when the last one stood me up. And this is his receipt. It says he got gas at pump number 2 at 7. Bitch, gas at 7:14. Oh, that's how much he got. I was about to say, bitch. He got $7 in gas. Fuck out of here.
It was 1989.
That's his shit. Y'all see the timestamp? Oh, I got her. Y'all see the timestamp? Okay. And here is the gas station dude. Oh, here is the gas station dude who is the clerk at the station, the gas station. This is the clerk at the gas station. I'm finna read his witness statement. His name is Randy. Let me channel Randy. What does Randy do? I was working on my regular 8 p.m. midnight shift and slated gas and grub on the night in question. I actually do recall that scrappy dude coming in just for after I clocked in. I looked like he hadn't shampooed in weeks. If he took better care of his hair, he might be some kind of handsome. I'm not afraid to say that about another man. Anyways, he wanted to know where the comic book section was. I told him we didn't have one, and he would have thought I told him that we were out of gas. Anyway, he filled up his tank, grabbed a few Dr. Peppers, and I think it was a bag of cheese doodles. Then said he had to make tracks to meet his blind date. Man, I hope she was blind. Otherwise, this dude wouldn't stand a chance. Now the head station of his, situation of his. Before he checked out, I strongly suggest he also purchase some of our highly plastic flowers for his date. Told him that those were what I always use to wow the ladies. He eagerly agreed and bought 3 of them. Told me to keep the change when he left. I psyched till I handed him the receipt and realized it was only 3 cents. So that was it. Also, he got 3 flowers. It's 3 for 75 cents. A bag of snack and a drink for 50 cents each.
And $7 of gas.
Yes, and $7 in gas. So his total was $10.97. He gave him $11. Told the man to keep his motherfucking change. So yeah, so he was there at 8:07. So he had to, when telling the truth, that he was gone. He came at 7 and left and was gone.
But
so it wasn't Daryl.
No, but he said, well, I don't think it was Daryl anyway, but he said the man didn't answer. Buddy didn't answer the door. Mm-hmm. So I kind of think something happened to Buddy before 8 o'clock.
Yeah. I said that too.
So it could still be Gertrude or Michael.
Well,
Michael was chilling, they say.
What's going on, Hennessy? What's going on, Pierre? What's going on, my cousin? Okay, so let's see what Hank has to this situation. Now, Hank, if y'all remember, Hank is the ex-business partner. Buddy was also having an affair with Nadine, which is his wife. And they're no longer business partners because he was also stealing from Buddy. So this is his statement, his police statement when they picked him up. During the time of the murder, wait, hold on, I gotta give him a voice.
You gotta do real southern.
I gotta get real southern.
Yeah, he looks like a southern.
During the time of the murder, I was parked along Stinson Street near Ray Ray's and Meat Market. My estranged wife Nadine lives in a apartment above the meat market, which that moron Buddy put her up in. I was just there to keep an eye on her, make sure she was all right. Nothing else Carlos D'Angelo from Big Daddy's used car lot can vouch for my whereabouts as he stopped to chat with me for a while. Mind you, Carlos is the mechanic, and if remember on our sheet, Big Daddy was paying Carlos. He paid Carlos $300 to fix some shit.
And
what else?
Ray Ray's Meat Market is right by Buddy's house. You see?
Yeah.
Right by Buddy's house.
So, here should we read Carlos's thing first, or we'll do this thing.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. If you could please state your full name for the record. Hank Miller. And Hank, would you mind telling us how you knew Buddy Edmunds? Upon recently, we were business partners, and Big Daddy used car lot. What happened? Did you have a falling out? A falling out? More like a shoving out. A few years ago, Buddy's dealership was going down the drain, and he came to me, desperate for help. It had great potential, so I took him under my wing and invested a sizable amount into the business. Within a year's time, it really turned around, and that's when Buddy gave me the business. How so? Buddy had his skinny money off the top. I finally found out and confronted him about it about 3 months ago, and he said he set it straight. And then he and our secretary, who just so happened to be my wife, doctored the books to make me look like a thief. Then he told me if I didn't make tracks and leave the dealership for good, he was going to press charges against me. Back up a moment. He had your wife working against you? Rules don't apply to Buddy. Not only did he steal half the business, he also stole my wife. And the affair was going on before he even married his wife. How low could this guy sink? Unbelievably low. He was trying to convince my wife to press charges against me. Any truth to those allegations? None. He cooked them up so she could sue for big money and a divorce. I really couldn't believe my Nadine could be roped in by a low-life lizard. He cared nothing for her. Buddy was outright despicable, and I'm surprised no one killed him sooner. Speaking of Buddy's demise, Hank, where were you last evening before 7:45 and 8:15? Drop it. It was 1 inch from the body. Wait, no. Yeah, wait. Let me go back. Speaking of Buddy's demise, Hank, where were you last evening for 7:45 and 8:15? Do you need me to repeat the question? We found your lighter at the crime scene. Did you drop it there? It was only 2 inches from the body. No, you don't need to repeat it. I was nowhere near the crime scene, but it stole that lighter from me years ago. I was parked outside the swanky little apartment Buddy set up for my wife, and I was there for hours. Really? Embarrassingly, yes. Despite everything, I'm worried about her. He'll drop her quicker than a rabid raccoon once he got his filthy mitts on the rest of my money. Sounds like he wasn't going to stop until he had everything that belonged to you, and you must have been crazy with jealousy to stalk your wife like that. Sure as hell can't believe for you wanting to keep that rightly yours. But where does a man draw the line between keeping what's his and taking something that isn't, like any other man's life? Look, I am sick to death of being falsely accused of things because of this guy. I imagine this is a pointless question, but there's no one who could possibly vouch for your whereabouts last night. Believe it or not, yes, Carlo from the dealership. He's a mechanic from Big Daddy's. Pathetically, it's not the first time he seen me popped out there. This time he pulled over and told me to let it go. Said if she'd leave me for him, she wasn't worth it. Sounds like advice worth taking. Any idea when this was? I don't look at my watch, but I said it was a little bit before 8. Ray closes up shop about 8, so I saw him leave as soon after Carlos showed up. One other thing, I heard there was a little incident when you were involved in there down at the dealership recently where it be on being Saturday. Care to fill me in on the details? I'd be happy to. I gone in to clean my desk and find Buddy kissing my wife in my old office. It was too much, all I could shove him out into the main part of the building. I was fixing to call him out in front of everybody there. When suddenly this stupid open pants all fell all around his ankles and he tripped. Went face down into the floor, exposing his big ratty Elvis boxer shorts for everyone to see. And trust me, it was a sight you can't easily unsee. It was one of those satisfying moments of my life. He ended up with a bloody nose from the face plant. Was murder him one of the other most satisfying moments? No idea what you're talking about. And as I said before, I've had it with the being accused of everything under the sun, all because of my wife is a stealing scumbag. Weren't you overheard that Saturday in the dealership telling him you were going to make sure he got what he deserved for what he had done to you? I had no idea. Maybe. I said a lot of things that day. You would have had, too, a lot of unpleasant things to say about him if he had done what he had done to me to you. No doubts. We'll touch back in with Hank. So don't leave town. So now what you think about Hank, babe?
I still think it's Hank.
Anybody else have any other thoughts of who y'all believe it could be? It could be anybody else, but we getting down to the nitty gritty though.
I still think it's Hank because I think it's Hank.
Okay, out of everything, this is a restraining order filed by it's to Hank from Buddy. It was a
Buddy filed a restraining order?
Yeah, Buddy filed a restraining order against Hank and told him that he couldn't come 500 meters to him.
Filed March 20th.
Yep, he filed this shit March 20th. He died. When they say he died?
April
1st or something like that?
Yes.
April
3rd.
Yeah, he died. And he got a restraining order. So Carlos, which is him. This is the mechanic who Hank said stopped and talked to him. Here's Carlos. And here is Carlos's witness statement. This is the last witness statement we have to read. So it says, I've known Hank Miller for the past 10 years or so. I used to work for him over at the Prestige Auto before joining him at Big Daddy. He always been the kind of guy who give you the shirt off his back if you let him. As a matter of fact, a few years back, I got into a serious car wreck and was laid up for about 4 months. I was out of work that whole time. They were about to foreclose on my house because I couldn't pay the mortgage. Hank heard about it, and one of the guys, and not an hour later, he showed up at my place with a checkbook in hand and said, I got this. How much you need? He allowed me to keep a roof over my family's head, and I'll never forget. It's a real shame what's going on down his life. He went out of his way to help Buddy's business and invested a huge chunk of his savings into it about 3 years ago. Then about 3 months ago, Buddy started carrying on with Nadine. That's Hank's wife. The whole town knew about it. Well, everybody except his wife, Candy, that is. She actually had no idea until just recently. And it turned out Buddy and Nadine Hank right out of the dealership. Lost everything he invested in his wife to boot. Anyhow, I noticed Hank's car on more than a few occasions, parked outside Ray's meat market, with him staring up at the window in the apartment of Buddy and Nadine in. He wear a hat and some dark glasses, but it was always completely obvious that it was him. So on the night of April 3rd, I happened to be in the riding by, and that way there was a poor Hank again. I think it was just before 8. So I pulled over and went to try to talk some sense into him. Told him it wasn't healthy and he needed to let it go because anyone who would run off with Buddy wasn't worth it. I could tell by his reaction that no matter what I said, it wasn't going to do any good. But I hope now that Buddy's dead, Hank doesn't take her back. I'm afraid he's a fool enough too, though. Not though he's a fool, but he sure was a fool for Nadine. I guess the bigger the heart, the more ways there's all to breaking. We talked for about 20 minutes, and I was just about to leave when Hank put the basketball game on the radio. Michigan and Seton Hall. So I hopped in the front seat of his truck and we listened to the first half of him before I headed home to see my wife and kids. There's no way Hank could have killed Buddy. In fact, his heart was so big, I have no doubt that if Buddy had apologized for ripping him off, Hank probably would have forgiven him. Not so sure if he had to do the same about Nadine part though. So my guy a real one. I thought he was on bullshit. My guy a real one. So that's that. So reading all this shit, who now do you think is the fucking killer?
I think it's Hank still.
You still think it's Hank?
I think it's Hank. It's Hank.
I don't know. Hank got a good alibi. Carlos said he sat there and listened to the game with that nigga.
But I think he died before 8. And I think Hank could have been sitting there.
Okay, this is the first piece of evidence. This is a newspaper clipping of him dying. So I'm finna read it. It says, I gotta hold it like this because it's flimsy. A newly couple's love nest quickly turned into a crime scene. When Candy Lee Edmunds came home last night to find her husband, Buddy Edmunds, dead on their living room floor with his head bashed in. Evidence suggests he was hit with a large, heavy object. Mr. and Mrs. Evans had only been married a few short months. When asked for a comment, all the grief-stricken Miss Edmonds could manage to say was, "I can't believe he's actually gone." According to the statement issued, newly appointed Deputy Travis W. Marshall of the Jericho County Sheriff's Department is unclear at this time whether they are investigating the murder of the results of a botched robbery attempt or if a break-in was staged as a cover-up for Buddy's gruesome murder. We'll have additional information on this once more details of the investigation are released. Buddy Edmunds was the owner of Big Daddy's used car lot for the past 4 years. He'd also become a bit more of a local celebrity for his TV and radio commercials, in which promised that Big Daddy will give you the best ride of your life. When reached for a comment, Buddy's personal secretary, Nadine Miller, had these words to say amongst her tears. "Wasn't nobody who didn't love Big Daddy, including me. Who would do this to such a lovely, respectable man?" Investigators are currently questioning 5 suspects, including his new bride. The 4 suspects are disgruntled customers Gertrude Granny Gert, Barely, neighbor Michael Armstrong, Daryl Wheeler, and former business partner Hank. Information about the murder, please contact Deputy Travis with Marshall Jericho Department. All information will be kept confidential. Lead investigator and Buddy said he was murdered in his home on April 3rd. Sometimes we also have to look at the back of this shit. And on the back of this shit is the Jericho Community Calendar. At the back of this is the Jericho Community Calendar, and it says, Jericho Community Center to offer line dancing classes. Grab a hold of your best dancing partner, your cowboy hat, and your Texas attitude, because this spring, Missy Lou Howard will be teaching a free line dance class for the 65 and older crowd in the community room of the Jericho's Community Center. Classes will be held each Tuesday evening from April 11th through May 23rd between hours of 6 and 7:30. Granny Gert and Mimi Baldwin will be in charge of the refreshments directly after in the cafeteria. Please contact Missy to sign up. Hurry up, all classes will be limited. Then they said the next one was hog wrestling postponed. The 7th annual Jericho Hog Wrestling Competition scheduled for April 15th has been postponed. The Davis Farm, where the competition was slated to take place again this year, was deemed unfit for the public due to inhumane sanitary conditions. The Davisers' septic system overflowed into the hog field, much to the great delight of the hogs, said the Jericho County Health Inspector. Once the farm meets our criteria for cleanliness again, they'll be able to reschedule the competition. Reminders for Jericho's Little Leaguers. Practice will be extended for an hour Tuesdays and Thursdays starting the week due to the PSD. Also, the fields at the Plumnum Park are being redone this coming Saturday. Please contact your coaches for info on the game rescheduling. The weather is 72 and the low of 50. And the forecast of passing skies and all of that good shit. And a sunset was at 8:11. 8:11. So why the fuck is Michael outside in his hammock if they sunset at 8:11? Come on now, Michael. I'm trying to work with my black niggas, man. Come on, fucking Michael. Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Big Daddy has a advertisement right here, and it says, "Big Daddy use car lot. Come on and get the best ride of your life." At Big Daddy's, and then at the bottom of it says, "Stuck at your home with nothing to do. Don't fret. Call the Lone Star Party Lines. We'll rustle you up some real nice people to party with at $2.99 a minute." So yeah.
I think it might be. I think we have to change.
I'm so mad if it's Michael, because I did not want to believe it to be the black guy.
And
but
is this him and Nadine in the picture?
Where? Yeah, I think that's him and Nadine in the picture. Yeah, that's Nadine. Because they said they sunrise rise at 7:34 in the morning, and they sunsets at 8:11
at night.
At 8:11 p.m. Mind you, Michael said at around 8 o'clock or so, he went into his backyard to sleep in the hammock. It's cold as fuck at 50 degrees. Why in Texas? 50 degrees in Texas, I'm pretty sure it's cold as fuck.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is Michael outside in his hammock taking a nap?
When the sun is up.
And I'm pretty sure if he was in his hammock in the backyard, that crazy Karen bitch, her, the one that was following him around.
Yeah.
This crazy bitch would have probably went to the back of the house. She said the nigga was nowhere to be found. He had to be. Come on now, Michael.
So Michael probably was sick of this shit.
Come on now, Michael. I'm thinking it's Michael. I'm guessing it's Michael. Oh. Okay. We got one more piece of evidence, and then after this, we got to go on to the next questions because we probably have some guess of who was actually the murderer. We lean into now Michael, but I'm gonna still I'm gonna hold out because I don't want to accuse my black guy. I don't want to accuse my black guy. So this one is another clipping, a news clipping. It's about Candy. So this clipping says, Candy Lee Edmunds arrested for the murder of her husband. Candy Lee Evans of 74 Pickerbush Road was arrested today for the murder of her husband, Buddy Edmunds. The couple had only been married a few months. According to officials, Mr. Edmunds was killed to the blow to the head at the residence of the night of April 3rd. As Mrs. Edmunds was being brought into the station today, she was vehemently professed her innocence to the reporter, stating, "I didn't kill that dang husband of mine, and you can't take that to the bank." Making an official statement about the case, Deputy Marshal of the Jericho County Sheriff's Department said, despite there being 4 other suspects in the case, Miss Edmunds was arrested because her bloody fingerprints were found on the murder weapon, and she lied about her whereabouts the night of the murder. She was also furious with Buddy over him spending her family's fortune, and she just had found out that he was having an affair with his secretary. This is an unfortunate case of a domestic dispute going very, very bad, Deputy Marshal added. It's also a pity that they couldn't have looked into counseling or something before it came to this. The entire county sheriff's department should be commended for their diligent work in getting the dangerous man-eating killer off the streets. commended Luann Nuisance, co-owner of Ray Ray's Meat Market, along with her husband, Ray Ray. Candy worked for us for a short bit, and I never liked the way she looked at my husband. Candy Lee Edmunds had recently moved into a town when she married Buddy Edmunds after they met at his used car dealership. She attended Darling Dow's beauty school up until just recently and also worked as a part-time cashier at Ray Ray's Meat Market before marrying Mr. Edmunds. She worked as a waitress at the Hog Dog Diner and Truck Stop on Route 35 in Pasco. Buddy Edmunds, who also at 35 at the time of his death, was a Jericho native and an all-county punter for the Jericho High School football team. After high school, Buddy sold vacuum cleaners door to door before moving on to automobile sales at the Skeeter used car lot. This is the first murder case in Jericho's newest deputy, Travis Marshall, has worked on for the former Texas Tech linebacker, has filed a attack of crime with the same entity he put forth in gridironing, sending a message to others that may consider following Candy's footsteps. He told reporters, "You mess with the law and around these parts, you can count on Deputy Travis Marshall to come and get you." For the couples in need of counseling, please consider calling the marriage counselor's Dora Flinch and schedule an appointment. Okay, here's the place where Brandy and them went. It said, "Girls Night Out, treat yourself, ladies, to a 2-for-1 ladies night special every Monday from 6 to 10. The gallery of amateur artists, employment opportunities at the Jericho Sheriff's Department, for a position of patrolman." Okay, so here is something from this bitch school. We almost done, y'all. I know it sounds long, but we almost done. Okay, so Darling Dow's School of Beauty holds the Hairspray Award. Last Friday evening, Darling Dow's Beauty School held their first awards to honor students who seem most likely to have promising futures in the beauty industry. Darling May Dalmat, owner of the Darling Dolls, recognized 5 top school students in the category of hair, makeup, nails, skin care, and fragrance. Farrah Farewell received the award for the hair category. Elma Norris was recognized for her talents in makeup application, and Charmaine Monroe was awarded for her expertise in nail design. Sherry Cooper was given skincare award, and the least but not least, fragrance awarded to Ashley LaFleur for creating the intoxicating new scent called Texas Tulips. Each winner received a gold-plated trophy in the shape of a hairspray bottle, a $25 gift card gifted to Thelma's Beauty World, and a 3-month membership to Devil Dogs Gym. "I'm burst with the pride for all of our winners," said Tammy Lee, cosmetology instructor. "These lovely women have bright futures with lights of hairdos. Finally, we're assembling a benefit dinner for all at the Crowders R Us." The Jericho Senior Center will be sponsoring a bus trip on the 33rd annual B. This coming Saturday. The bus will be leaving from the Jericho Center at 7:45 sharp to make sure there's time for the pre-breed breakfast tickets, included with the breakfast, $10. And that's that. Barry Mannix from Bull next door. Okay, that's it.
I still think it was Michael. Now I think it's Michael.
So you think it's Michael?
Yeah, because he really doesn't have an alibi, right? He doesn't really have an alibi. He was outside. Not that one, though.
They say, "Hey."
No, you gotta go to the...
Oh, yeah, you gotta go to the thing. Go to the thing.
Here, give me the... I'll call that the bottom. All right.
Okay, what's the questions?
Can you prove Candy is innocent? Do you know how to prove Candy did not kill Buddy? Prove it below to move on to the next part. What 2 items best prove Candy could not have killed Buddy?
The picture
of her in the clock.
The picture of her and Bambi's statement. No, yeah, the picture of her. Yeah, the picture of her and Bambi. No, picture of her and Michael's statement.
Okay, hold on. Photo taken of Candy and Bambi at bar. And then And then
Michael's statement.
Michael's statement.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is it on there?
Hold on. Give me a second. Interrogation of Michael Armstrong.
Yeah.
You need another. Okay. Click
What it
there.
say?
Sorry, these are not the 2 documents needed to free Candy, but you got one of them right.
So that's the picture.
Stick with it. You're close, and Candy's been locked up for a long time. She needs help. Want a hint?
Yes.
Read the notification from the Little Leaguers on the back of the article about Buddy being killed.
The Little Leaguers. Practice will be extended an hour Tuesdays and Thursdays starting the week due to PSD. Also, find the DST. Also, find fields in the.
Read it, babe.
I did. Practices will be extended in an hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting this week due to DST. Also, the fields at the Plandemon Park are being redone this coming Saturday. Please contact your coaches for info on game rescheduling.
What?
Who the fuck is DST?
Due to DST.
Is that the hog shit?
Daylight savings time.
Oh, so time went back. The time, daylight savings time.
Advance 1 hour.
So you were right.
So he died at 7, not 8.
So Daryl killed him.
No. I don't think it was Daryl still. I think it was
No,
Michael.
okay, so daylight saving time.
It's a seasonal adjustment to the civil time where clocks are advanced 1 hour ahead during the spring and the summer.
So okay, so it was this sheet. This sheet is the sheet and the photo. Say this sheet and the photo.
Or you want another hint?
Huh?
You want another hint?
What's the other hint?
Yeah. Sometime within the picture of Candy and Bambi proves the clock in that is wrong. What's that say?
Oh, because they sunset at 8. I just said that.
And what does that
And
say?
the clock says 7. 7:11 and the sunset is at 8.
So it's really 8 o'clock on that.
Yeah.
Check the Check the Jethro weather report on the back of the newspaper article.
Yeah. So it's the article and Bambi's picture. The picture of them.
Okay. The newspaper article. Buddy Edmunds, owner of Big Daddy's article.
The Jericho Gazette. I think that's it. Gotta be that.
Or the one where it's the Candy Lee Edmunds arrested for murder.
No.
Buddy Edmunds, owner of Big Daddy's.
Yeah.
Okay, that one.
In the picture. All our people in, but we gotta still finish the show.
You did it. You proved Candy could not have killed Buddy. Great work. You can now open the envelope marked bonus envelope A.
Okay. That's this one.
We were close though.
That's this one. We went on 2 hours.
Yeah, that's why people.
Yeah. It's cool. Cause
We got
ain't no
farther.
joke. Yeah.
You had a solid 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the shit.
Okay. I'm almost done. We're almost done. Okay, that's all the stuff from out of here. This objective says there are 4 remaining suspects and one of their alibis isn't true. When you figured it out, visit the page to verify your findings. "1989 convicted killer Candy Lee released from prison." In the shocking turn of events, Candy Lee was convicted of murdering her husband, Buddy Edmunds, in Jericho on April 3rd. He has been found innocent of all charges and released from Pensacola Women's Prison today. Miss Lee's conviction was overturned by newly discovered evidence. Fellow inmates could be heard cheering out of the cell wall windows. She walked through the prison gates, pumping both fists in the air. Miss Lee was offered sincere apologies from the county office and state of Texas itself, which provided her with a hefty monetary settlement for her wrongful conviction and years of unwanted how you say the word?
Incarceration.
Yeah, you know what I mean. When the bitch was incarcerated. Incarceration. That's the word. Incarceration. When asked what her plans were now, she was a free woman. Miss Lee said, "During those unjust years behind bars, I found I have a real knack for languages and ended up becoming fluent in 6. I'm going to put them to good use. Sweet talking to my way across the globe. Ain't nobody going to stop Candy Lee from being all she can be now." Candy was accused of killing her husband, Buddy Edmunds, in their home by hitting him over the head with a clock. She was arrested shortly after the murder and back in '89, but last week, a savvy independent investigator uncovered photographic evidence from her case file, proving that she was somewhere else at the time of the murder. This new evidence also reopens the case for the department. There are 4 remaining suspects and are now officially back under investigation. Michael, living next door and constantly at odds with the victim, he once even was seen threatening him with a gun, and claimed to be sleeping at the time of the murder in his hammock. Mike Miller, a buddy of his former business partner, and seemed to be having a plenty motive for the murder, since Edmund was having an affair with his wife and accused him of assault. Miller was supposedly stalking his estranged wife in his apartment at the time. Daryl Rilla, those whose van was seen driving at the victim's house the same of the evening of the murder took place, was an hour away in Slater when the Edmund was killed. And then there's Gertrude Granny Gert, barely who knows who says the matter than a wet hen at Buddy Edmunds, just prior to his death. The victim had cheated her out of money in the land and also sold her a junky car. A jug of infamous bootleg whiskey was found at the crime scene, and along with a threatening letter. If anybody has any information on the investigation, please contact us. On the back is our zodiac signs. It's the zodiac signs. And then it's a 24-hour emergency plumbing. Who to call? Johnny Dale, that's who to call. Texas Grand Theater, celebrating 50 years. Come by Gas and Grub. Come by this month and get a free donut when you buy gas tank of gas. 3 locations. So there's 3 locations. See where the Corn Swap, 65 Corn Swap Road, and then the one in Slater, 405 Dust Devil, and then there's one in East Gill, Texas, on Gator Road. Southern Belle Haircuts and Texas United Go to Fancy New Field. I'm finna read my horoscope because it's just me. I don't give a fuck. Let's read my horoscope. Since it's on Gemini, today you uncover a secret. Your fate will depend on what you would do with it. Ooh. Yours is the Sagittarius. Your good fortune will eventually reveal an unexpected twist in your favor today. Ooh. Oh. And this goes out to my people if this is your birthday today. The happy birthday to you from all of us who put here at the newspaper together. This star reveals that you will use a super sharp intellectual skill today to bring justice where justice is due. So get ready to give yourself a gift of great big old pat on the back when you're through, because you'll deserve it.
Period.
Woo-woo. But this was also in there. Ooh. What is that? This is the sheriff's son.
Say it. Read it. The sheriff's son wrote this?
Yeah. The sheriff's son, the deputy marshal, his son. This is Junior. He says, I'm Deputy Marshal Junior from the department, and I'd like to thank you to reopen this case. You have no idea how much it means to me on both professional and personal level. You see, my dad, Travis Marshall Sr., was in charge of the case back in '89. I remember him working that night and day when I was a kid. I was so proud when he put who he thought was the killer away. That's when I decided I wanted to follow in Dad's footsteps. However, when Dad recently found out that he was wrongfully locked up Candace Lee, the entire time he was so distraught that he had a heart attack. He's still in the hospital and quite frankly isn't doing so well. But Dad takes everything to heart. I firmly believe that acting the real cook could greatly help him recover. I hadn't had a chance to discuss the details with him yet, but I know Dad was very impressed to hear that you were able to release Candy based on the photograph and her prospect of sunset. I called the Prosper Town Hall earlier that day to confirm that Earl, who still works for the town, is notorious for going days, sometimes even weeks, without resetting those darn clocks for daylight saving times. Anyway, please keep Dad in your prayers and try as hard as you can to find a real killer for him. I know this will help him find peace. He'll recover his health. There's 4 other suspects in this case. They all have solid alibis. I think we need to break one of those suspect alibis to have a chance in solving the case. Thank you so much for your help in doing everything that happened to take care of Dad. I'm afraid this would happen.
Okay.
It's Michael. I'm so mad. I'm so fucking mad.
Yeah, Michael doesn't really have an alibi. Gertrude has what's her face. Daryl has. Who does Daryl have as his alibi?
His receipt.
Oh, his receipt. And said 8. So, and then Hank has what's his face, the mechanic guy.
His thing said 8, which means his daylight saving time was right.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna say Daryl. Daryl's what's the name?
Well, we need 2 documents to prove. Let's go for a hint.
Michael's interrogation and his statement.
Michael's interrogation.
Wait, is there a hint? We almost done, y'all. We almost done. I know y'all sick of me.
And his witness statement. Who's what? Who is who?
Huh?
Who is Michael's witness statement?
I'ma say. What's the hint?
I don't know how I gotta get to it. Oh, okay.
This is getting deep. And we got 2 more sheets.
Okay.
Oh. So his what's the name? And the back of.
Okay, ready for the hint? Read the notification for quilting enthusiasts on the back of the article about Candy getting arrested. You see it?
Okay. What does that have to do with anything? It says the senior center will be sponsoring a bus trip to the 43rd annual Quincy B. Bonanza in Turkamurray in this coming Saturday. The bus will be leaving the center at 7:45 sharp and make sure to arrive in time. The pre-B breakfast tickets to the event are $15 per person, which includes your breakfast and bus tickets are $10. Please call Fran Dillander.
Let me see.
It says, if you plan on driving there separately, remember that New Mexico runs on mountain time and plan accordingly.
Are they in New Mexico? Let me see this.
I don't get that, babe. What's the next hint? Come on, we gotta move this on.
Okay. Check all the ads on the back of the article about Candy being released from prison. Texas.
I don't know. I don't know, babe. I'm lost again.
What is it? Let me see.
Because all they got back there is the plumbing. The
There's one in New Mexico, Slater, New Mexico.
so what it say?
It just there's a gas in New Mexico.
Oh, and Mountain Time
Is 3.
is it
So
hours
8.
behind? What?
Daryl.
What you mean?
Okay, so Texas is Central Time, right?
Uh-huh.
New Mexico is Mountain Time.
Oh, and it's a gas station in New Mexico.
So 8. So
Slater, but I thought he went to Slater.
New Mexico.
Oh,
So it wasn't.
so it's the Mountain Time behind?
Mountain Time is behind. Yeah, behind. So 3 hours behind.
Okay, so what's our options again?
The other hint is Central Time. So let's say it's 5 p.m. Central Time. It's 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So it's an hour behind. So if it was 8 o'clock, doesn't make sense.
So he killed him at 8, drove to the other place, is hours behind, which is an hour behind.
So
it would say 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and it was really yeah.
And daylight saving times haven't happened yet.
Yeah, so he got there at 8, but it was really 9.
Okay, so what we gonna say is it?
Okay, hold on. I think it was
Those 2 pieces of evidence.
for the receipt.
Okay. Because the receipt, let me go to this receipt.
Daryl's gas and grill receipt and the article from quilting article.
Mm-hmm. It don't tell you which gas and grill it is though either.
But he said he was going to Slater, and Slater is in Slater, New Mexico. He kept saying he was going to Slater.
But ain't it? Yeah.
And on here, it says Slater, New Mexico.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so what now?
Hold on, I gotta figure. It's the article, convicted killer caddy. Oh yeah, this one.
Yep. And the arrest one.
And then I did the
release
receipt.
Huh?
I did the receipt, or should I do the other article?
Do the release one and the arrest one.
And the Candy Edmunds arrested for murder. Those two are not the 2 documents that to break one of the suspect's alibis. What? So then it has to be the receipt.
Mm-hmm. The receipt and Daryl's alibi.
Receipt and
But we said receipt and it said neither one of those.
no, I didn't say receipt.
Oh, okay.
I said the 2 articles.
Okay, receipt and the his alibi.
His alibi was
Did it pop?
hold on. Randy Weiner was his alibi.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 documents aren't right.
I'm gonna have to say I can't. I'm gonna have to say it gotta be try his interrogation and
His interrogation.
the this piece, the Lee Edmunds arrest for murder.
Okay.
This is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Or map of Jethro. It shows Slater.
Okay. Let's try to figure this out. We got 2 more envelopes to go and I'm ready to do it.
Those are
Neither one.
um
And 2 hints just told us these 2 pieces of paper.
yeah.
And
What is that? What is the piece of paper? Convicted killer
yeah.
Edmunds released.
Yeah.
And Candy Lee Edmunds arrested for murder.
Yeah. And the killer Candy released.
And Candy Lee arrested for murder, yeah.
That's not it? I don't know, baby.
Hold on. I'm trying to get person of interest form, Bureau. Interrogation Bureau. Let's see. No, bro. I don't know.
Oh, we stuck on this. Oh my God, we gotta hurry up and figure this out. We've been on for 2.5 hours.
Oh,
We gotta figure this out.
okay. It has to be him though, right?
I don't know.
Because he went to Slater.
What's the hints again? Maybe we missing something.
Okay. Read the notifications for the quilting enthusiasts on the back of the article about Candy getting arrested.
Okay.
Check out all the ads on the back of the article about Candy being released from prison.
Okay.
And then it has this map, which shows the time zones.
So try the map and the quilting one, which is her being arrested.
Her being arrested?
Yeah.
Okay. I did the map and I did that.
No?
Bro, we're thinking too hard into it, I think.
Oh my God, I can't believe we stuck. So I'm gonna say Daryl, his interrogation.
Did it already. It wasn't one of that. It wasn't that.
Okay, so
Person of interest form, Daryl Wheeler. Interrogation, Daryl Wheeler.
yeah, his person of interest form, is that this one? The blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the witness statement.
Yeah, do person of interest statement and then do because his interest statement.
It's gotta be something else. I don't know.
It's not his person of interest statement?
Nope.
The fuck? So it's not his interrogation thing either?
No.
Try Michael's interrogation
Michael's interrogation.
and the
Carlos Delgado.
no, Michael's.
I did that.
And then Candy's murder for her husband. That we tried that one. That's not
Yeah.
It would tell us if one of them right.
Yeah, it would tell us one's right.
I don't know. I'm ready to move on, but
Man, I don't know. I can't figure it out.
me either. Oh my god. So what do we think?
I don't know.
They said look on the two articles and then look at what? The map?
Yeah. Our map, the map that they showed me. It's nothing.
So put in the old article, the daylight saving time article.
Daylight saving time article. What's that?
The Jericho, the owner of Big Daddy's used car.
Okay.
And then you said the article wasn't one, right?
Damn, we're stuck.
Come on, let's just start guessing now. Pick one, cause I don't know.
All right.
Cause this is ridiculous that we really stumped like this.
But we had like the obvious. I'm trying.
I'm about to open the second one because I'm getting lost. I'm gonna peek. I'm gonna peek because this will take forever.
Bro, never, bro.
What?
What? So we were wrong? Completely wrong?
I don't know. It has something to do with Daryl though.
So Gertrude. Who was it?
I don't know. It has something to do with Daryl though. So
They still don't tell you?
I don't want. It does, but I don't want to read it. I just see the stuff. I just don't want to read it. And it says some other shit. Like, what? It's a lot. So it's definitely has something to do with Daryl.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure it out.
So, what's this say? Nothing? Still, bro?
Nothing. I'm going through all of them.
Okay, I'm gonna go straight to the next one.
Wait, hold on. Let me just get all of them out.
Yeah, because this one is hard, y'all.
We never been.
By the time
like
y'all
this.
finally get a chance to watch it, it's gonna say like some of these cases are actually hard. Some of these cases are really easy. Whew. But it was rough.
This one was hard.
It's really hard.
Done the one I wanted to do.
I know.
Throw this whole thing out. Throw me one that I could use since you saw.
I can't because I didn't read it. I have to read it. I just glanced and see that it says something to do with Daryl.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting back down to the bottom.
It's definitely Daryl.
Can't be.
It's definitely Daryl. But it's something to do with Daryl. It's not Daryl, but it has something to do with Daryl.
He didn't do it.
I don't know. It definitely has something to do with Daryl. The first lines it says Daryl didn't put up a fight. It was Daryl. Something has to do with Daryl.
Dude, I'm almost all the way through, and I still haven't gotten to it yet.
Like not one. Okay, so Daryl's statement.
Hold on.
And the cashier's statement.
Okay, no, this is thing I must be tripping.
What?
Because I went all the way through them.
And they all say no?
They all say neither.
So that's what I'm saying. So
where's that card? Can you pass me that card?
I think it's Daryl and Daryl's what's the name and the cashier's what's the name? Because Daryl said he was going for a blind date. The cashier said he wasn't looking no part to go for no blind date.
Oh yeah. So you think it's
Daryl's interrogation, what's the name? And the
Daryl Wheeler's interrogation.
And the cashier.
Randy Weiner.
His statement.
Says sorry. Bro.
Okay, fuck it. Here go the third one.
What's the name of this?
Huh? Buddy Edmunds. This one say, when you think you know who paid the hitman, please go to this page and see if you're right.
All right.
Who paid the hitman? So Daryl was a hitman? This a picture that came in it. It says Daryl's undies. Something of 84, Reagan 84.
Do you know who hired Daryl to take out Buddy?
I can't thank you enough for all the help you've been giving me with this case. That Bulger guy didn't put up much of a fight when I brought him in for questioning after I showed him that his alibi was toast. He spilled the beans pretty quick, seeing that he sure took a lot of pride in fooling everybody all these years. I think he was gladly to finally tell us how he did it. Things with Dad had been going pretty well. This news is zeroing in on Buddy's real killer helped the medical progress tremendously. He was talking around. He was walking around halls of the hospital. The doctors were taking to release him back home with Mom. You shouldn't believe his pride in his face when I told him I got a confession out of Daryl, the character. He made me read it out loud in the hospital room in the front of his mom, in the front of Mom, a cardiologist, and my son. I hesitated because I didn't want him to get all raised up, but he insisted you go on against that or he'll only get more upset. Unfortunately, I got to the part where the end where Dales calls him a big old deputy dummy. He clenched his chest and had himself another dodging heart attack. I guess finding out that his dupe by likes of Barger was too much. They've got him back in the ICU. It's really a touch and go right. He sees like he hates seeing him like this. My hands are really tied here because I need to stay with Dad, but it also needs to nail down who paid Daryl Woodley to kill Buddy Edmunds. I truly feel like Dad's life depends on closing this case. If I could just tell him we find the mastermind behind the murder, I know he'd recover. But this time of essence, he'll do anything he can. Hurry. He's back on Granny.
Think it's Granny?
Oh, this shit is real. It could be.
Oh, this is too much. I don't even know.
Right. So woman may concern, just around 8 o'clock on the evening of April 3rd, 1989, I murdered Buddy at his humble abode on Peckers Road. My chosen method was clonking him over the head with some ridiculous Heaven's clock. I originally was going to use my big wrench. I slipped it in my pocket for occasion, but everything I heard about Buddy, this seemed way more appropriate. It wasn't like I hated the guy or anything. It was just business. Seeing it was minding my own business one day when I got a call from someone who wanted him dead in the worst way. Wanted him to know that if he ever considered taking money in exchange for doing if I considered taking money in exchange for doing the deed. I was a bit surprised at first, but there aren't much money in being a handyman. So I figured, why not, right? Maybe the guy deserved it. You know, who was I to refuse? I couldn't tell you whether the caller was male or female. Seemed to be using one of them electric voice changer thingies. I still want to get me one of those someday. The deal was they said they paid me $5,000 ahead of time and then 10 at the amount once Buddy bellied up. They said they leave him down payment buried in the ammo box out behind Big Yellow Rose Bush in the Putnam Park. So really late that night before the murder, I dug up the box, counted the cash, and made sure it was all there. I already had an appointment set up with Buddy for the next day as they're at the market to have some work done on his house. He wanted some wealthy Everest-inspired man cave. What a weirdo. But that played into my hands perfectly since I'm a handyman. And there was some more to come to find out. His ex-partner had recommended me to Buddy a while back. It was seriously like fate or something. Once I was at his house, I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Once we agreed, I handed him a jug of Granny Gert's whiskey to seal the deal. He poured a couple glasses, then handed me one. At the last moment, I remember hearing something about them being able to trace DNA and spit, so I put the glasses back down, thought quickly and told him, gosh dang, Buddy, almost forgot. I can't drink because of the new meds I'm on for a weird toenail fungus and I can't seem to shake. But you're right, go ahead and enjoy it. Which he did. By the way, I wasn't kidding about the fungus. It really is hard to get rid of it. Still got it to this day. It's under control though. I was about to get out the wrench when Buddy started talking about this Elvis clock. He said it was one of his most prized possessions and wanted me to take a look at the fine craftsmanship that went into it. I knew at that very moment I'd never find a finer weapon to kill Buddy with. As soon as the deed was done, I wiped my fingerprints, learned that from one of the crime shows on TV, then broke the window and threw the cops off so it looked like a botched robbery. I think my proudest moment, though, was the whole thing throwing off Deputy. So I showed him my gas receipts from the Slater, which placed me in the Slater at the time of the murder. So it looked impossible for me to have been at Buddy's when the was killed. Of course, he never gave no mind. In fact, even though Slater is an hour away, it's in another time zone. So 8:03 in Slater was actually 9:03 in Jericho. and was all I could do not to pull a big old Christian grin when I handed that big old deputy my dummy, Travis Marshall, my receipt. I thought everything was going my way until the person who hired me never called me back about the rest of the money. It's amazing lack of good morals on some people have. So there you have it. And people around these parts thought Booger, that's what everyone else used to call me, wasn't too bright. Well, I'm sure as the shooting showed them.
Bro.
So, Daryl did the murder. So, it was the murder. Daryl did the murder.
Yeah. But somebody hired him.
Yeah. Oh, this was this. Property custody document. We've acquired the box originally held in the cash placement of the hitman who killed Buddy Edmunds in Jericho. It is handed over to the hitman himself directly after confession. The box was buried in Permanent Park behind a large yellow charge rug to hide the hitman. Since the time of the murder, the hitman says that he's been using it to the compartment to store his underwear, and since the watertight keeps them dry. The box is green, the ammo box apartment. Who would have an ammo box?
Marine. So it was him.
Outside of somewhat rusted, fairly decent condition with the Reagan Bush 84 bumper sticker on it, as well as the Daryl's undie written on the inside of bold black lettering. On the outside, exclusive traces of Willis DNA has traces of underwear found nothing but the proved evidence to hide the hitman. We are still looking for whether the stickers has ties to any subject over this time. We think that it's doubtful that we will lead anywhere. There is nothing about the inside of the box that proves evidence. Yeah, so it's Daryl. It's Michael.
Michael.
Fuck.
And we still don't have any proof because nothing is telling me that it is.
The picture of the ammo box.
Picture of ammo box.
And saying that he was gonna give him $5,000.
What is that? Volunteer written statement?
Yeah. It could be grandma and it could be
Photo of Daryl's ammo box. What, bro? This says no.
we ain't gonna play with this motherfucker because they playing. Let's go to the next.
I don't know. It keeps saying no. Sorry, neither of these.
Fuck it. Congratulations, detective. You've solved the case files. What? Who the fuck two people was these? I don't know who the fuck these people is.
Wait, what do we?
But it's a woman and him, and a woman and somebody and a kid. I don't know.
So we still don't know who it was? Oh, Lord.
This was hard. This one was hard.
This is way harder.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Who was it?
That's why we couldn't get it.
Why?
It was Candy. To the hero of Marshall, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I couldn't believe Candy Lee was the mastermind behind all of it. When I saw this in the bank transitions adding up to the exact amount Daryl found in the ammo box, I knew there had to be an explanation. For Candy, it doesn't look good. Where was them?
How much money did he find in the ammo box?
$5,000? What?
Bro. What?
$5,000 ahead of time. I talked on the phone today with the hostel manager in Buenos Aires who might have seen her, but the Spanish isn't that good. They might have just tried to book a room. Anyway, seems like she's done a lot of time already, and from now what I can tell that Buddy Edmunds just might have had it coming. Texas justice is like that, they say. And close out the correspondence received from Candy. I think we're going to close the case. Good news about Dad, though. He was in and out for a while during one of his more lucid yesterday fingerprint. I told him you're fine and tell him as soon as he heard Candy hired the hitman to stud him up his back. He slid right. The hospital said nothing sort of a miracle released him that morning. I knew that if the real killer was found, Dad would come around. No doubt, knowing that it didn't put him in his woman behind bars was all that it took before recovering. I enclosed the picture of him and his son. That was just taken this morning. Dad got home. Have you ever thought about a career in law enforcement?
No. No, because we didn't get it.
I don't get it though.
What the fuck?
What was the amount?
She paid him $5,000. $5,000 was taken out.
There was no $5,000 taken out.
Look in the back.
There was no $5,000 taken out.
Or what? Let me see.
Oh, it was right here.
From the bank.
No, Gertrude gave him that money. I don't know.
But Gertrude handled all of his finances.
No, she didn't.
No, yeah, he said it in there. Gertrude handled all of his finances. He was his accountant.
But Gertrude also bought a car
For $399. And that would have been a credit, not a negative.
No, $3,500 went to Gertrude.
Went to Gertrude?
Or yeah, it's a debt. It's a, I don't know. But let me read the letter.
Oh my God, bro.
This was hard because I never would have guessed this bitch. Because we trying to get this hoe off. Oh.
They played in our faces, bro.
To all you people trying to track me down, I suggest you find some other way to amuse yourselves because you ain't never gonna find me. That being said, I am thrilled to come right out and flaunt the fact that I hired a hitman to kill off that vermin husband of mine. Now, some might consider my actions a tad bit hasty, but you know what? I don't give a flying crap. Buddy Edmunds was truly awful man, and unless you had to put up with him like I did, you would have never understood. And quite honest, I don't care whether you understood or not. There's mentally better ways to get back at him, and that would have landed me behind bars for so long. But no matter, because as it turns out, my life has never been better. As soon as I got released, I went right ahead and collected my wrongful conviction compensation money, and all that I could say about that was wowie. I'd like to kindly thank the grant of state of Texas for settling me up with nicely for the rest of my life. Of course, I aged in prison, but I made me shrewd, and as soon as I got my hands on that money, I made myself a facelift and a healthy dose of Botox. I may not be turning as many heads as I once did, but who cares? A nice big old pile of money and the endless freedom are better than any man could ever be. Men who need them. So just dropping this little line to let you know that you can casually basically kiss my derriere because I've got more money than you ever know what to do with. And that money will keep me taken care of and hidden forever. You will never find me, but good luck trying. So that was her. This is Candy.
Oh yeah, older. He's older.
All the while we're trying to help get this bitch off, she did it. I don't know how she did it, but that hoe did it.
Yeah, that's 500. All the withdrawals add up to 500.
What you mean?
If you calculate all the withdrawals add up to 500.
5,000?
I mean 5,000. Exactly.
What withdrawals?
Read them. They said it's withdrawal.
Oh, remember I did say that. Yeah, they're like, it's a withdrawal for this,
Yeah.
it's a withdrawal for that. Oh.
So she did it in a matter of a month. She withdrew enough money in a matter of a month to give it to him.
Oh.
Bro, they played us.
They played us. But thank you guys. Thank you.